Well, the gender gap isn't just hitting women's paychecks, also knocking on their front door. A new study by RealtyTrac found that homes owned by single men are not only worth more, they appreciate faster than most homes owned by single women. We have local real estate professional Samantha Hancock from RE/MAX Advantage Plus here to explain. Good to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, how much are we talking about here? How much more did this study find these homes are worth for single men?
RealtyTrac did a study, and what they found is nationally, men's homes are worth 10% more and appreciating 16% more. It's even worse here in Minnesota. In Minnesota, that number of appreciation is 34% difference.
And what's the reason behind this? Why is this happening?
So there's two things going on. First, men and women still have a wage gap of about 19% nationally. So with that, you just have less buying power. And then the second thing is that women are more likely to look for something that's updated and move-in ready. So between the loss in buying power and the desire to have something that's 100% ready for them, what the data is showing is they're moving into less desirable areas where they don't get that appreciation.
So are you better off sometimes buying something that you can make some improvements, some cosmetic changes, and then you can reap some of the appreciation from that? Is that what helps?
Absolutely. And so when I sit down with a client, that's one of the first things we talk about is just, don't bust your budget. When you get your pre-approval, try to kind of go towards the bottom of that number where you're really comfortable. If you go to the top of it, you're going to become what we call house poor. Mm-hmm. And then you don't have room to make those improvements or upgrades.
Let's talk more about that in terms of how do you determine what you can afford? What's the best formula and approach for that, Samantha?
If you're working with an agent, they can really help you kind of dig into what utilities are, what your cost of living is. So the first thing is just write out all the things that you owe in your life and then add the mortgage to that amount. And you don't want all of those things to add up to more than maybe 30 or 40% of your total monthly income.
And your next piece of advice is true of almost everything you buy. You say shop around.
Absolutely. And a lot of people think of just shopping around for a lot of houses, and that's good. But also on the mortgage side, which to us ladies is not the fun part, shop around for that too, because the numbers show that women are paying higher interest rates than men, 0.4% more, because a lot of them will go with the first person that's referred to them, which is great. But it's always good to let your lender know that you are going to be shopping around so you get a really competitive interest rate.
And they are competitive with that. And
yeah.
they like getting you, and this is
absolutely
lifetime that they have you with them as well.
Absolutely.
You say look ahead, think resale.
Sure. So again, this is kind of having the bigger picture of not necessarily seeking something that's 100% ready. It's more important to find something in a really great area than it is to have all of the fancy upgrades. And so you can think about the future, whether it's 2 years from now or 10 years from now, having some light improvements to make actually puts you in the driver's seat of your equity. You can really make these changes, and you're not just subject to market fluctuations.
Which is so huge, isn't it?
Right.
And then you get into something, if your situation changes, that you'll be able to afford staying where you are at least.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you. Good conversation today and got us thinking, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. We have information for you, by the way, on KARE11.com. All you have to do is look under the Shows tab and the News at 4.